Alex was known around school as the perfect student, bright, focused, and with an impeccable record. Every teacher admired him, and his classmates often looked to him for help. It was a typical day at school, and as the final bell rang, students poured into the hallways, eager to escape into the evening. Alex packed his bag, ready to head home like everyone else. But something nagged at him as he walked down the familiar streets. He felt lighter than usual. As he reached home, it hit him. His phone was missing. Panic surged through him. He rifled through his bag, checked his pockets, and retraced his steps in his mind. He immediately began calling his friends, hoping one of them had picked it up by mistake. After a few calls, his friend Jack mentioned, "Alex, you left it in the classroom." Relief was short-lived as Alex realized it was already past sunset. His school was notoriously eerie at night, but Alex couldn't imagine leaving his phone there until the next morning. So he made a quick decision to head back to the school and retrieve it. Upon arriving, the sky was a deep blue and shadows stretched ominously over the campus. The school's security guard, an old man named Mr. Harris, stood by the entrance, his face creased with concern as Alex explained why he was back. "You left your phone?" Mr. Harris asked, scratching his chin. "Are you sure you want to go back inside now, boy? It's past school hours." Alex chuckled nervously. "Yeah, it'll just take a minute. I know exactly where I left it." The guard's eyes darkened as he reluctantly nodded, his voice low and gruff. "Be quick, and whatever you do, don't stay too long." Alex brushed off the warning, thinking the old man was just superstitious. He made his way down the dim hallways, the usual bustle of students replaced by an eerie silence. His footsteps echoed against the tile floors and the fluorescent lights buzzed softly above him. As he neared his classroom, something strange caught his attention, a faint sound like children laughing and whispering. He froze for a moment. It didn't make sense. The school was supposed to be empty. Curiosity, mixed with a growing sense of unease, pushed Alex toward the classroom door. He hesitated before turning the knob and slowly pushed the door open, his breath caught in his throat. Sitting at the desks were children, but they weren't normal children. Their eyes glowed white in the dim room, their faces blank, devoid of emotion. Their bodies were pitch black like living shadows, and they were all staring directly at him, their gaze piercing through the darkness. The air around them felt heavy, thick with something sinister. Alex screamed, stumbling back as the children stood up in unison, their heads tilting unnaturally to the side. The room felt colder, the walls seeming to close in on him as they slowly began to move toward him. Panicked, he turned and bolted down the hall, his heart pounding in his chest. He could hear their footsteps behind him, faster and faster, echoing in the empty halls. He didn't dare look back. All he could think about was reaching the front door. When he finally burst outside, gasping for breath, he saw Mr. Harris standing by the gate, his expression grim but not surprised. "I saw them!" Alex gasped, his voice trembling. They had glowing eyes and hollow black bodies. They were..." Mr. Harris interrupted him, his tone flat and calm. "So you saw them too?" He shook his head slowly, as if resigned to some grim reality. "They live here. At night. Those aren't children anymore, Alex. They never leave. Not since the accident all those years ago." Alex's blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" The old guard sighed, his eyes dark with memory. "Years ago, there was a fire. A group of students. They never made it out, and now they stay here, trapped between this world and the next. They show themselves to anyone foolish enough to stay after dark." Alex's stomach twisted with fear, realizing that the children he'd seen weren't just ghosts. They were angry, restless souls trapped in the school forever. "Go home, boy," the guard said, his voice heavy with warning, "and don't ever come back here after sundown." Without another word, Alex ran, vowing never to step foot near the school at night again, haunted by the glowing eyes that would forever linger in his nightmares.